Welcome back
Alright,
to Nerd
Transformers fans,
Safari.
it's finally time.
Wait a minute, Chris
The
Hemsworth starts
Transformers
talking the
fun
same
track.
time as me? That's not allowed. As you can tell, I am live. There may be technical difficulties here, but as most of you might know, I am a huge Transformers fan, and any minute now, they are going to be streaming a new Transformers movie trailer from space, and from actual space. So I'm going to unmute this now, and we're going to just see what they give us.
I'm not talking to you. You know what? We are so screwed. Thought you weren't talking to me.
You two, come with me.
Wow, here we go.
Report to waste management.
Is this...
Hi there, I'm B127. I'm actually working on some nicknames. The one I'm floating right now is Badassatron, which is actually pronounced Badassatron. We're gonna call you B.
Wow.
I know we're just lowly worker bots who can't even transform. Don't you want to see what's out there?
There's a reason no one goes to the surface. It's dangerous.
Why'd you bring jetpacks?
I'm gonna kill you.
I accept those terms.
Oh my god, this is looking pretty great so far.
Beautiful.
You have proven yourself worthy.
Wow.
Take these and access
Oh my, I actually have goosebumps.
potential.
It's time to show them we are more than meets the eye.
Wow, okay.
We can transform now.
On three. One.
It's working. Where's my head? How do we use these things? Look at the wheels.
Guys,
That's not good.
We've got these powers for a reason. Let's use them.
we stand here together as one.
Hmm.
Whoa! I got a battle mask. It appeared with this guy. Nice mask. I have nice
I
hands.
can see that.
B, these are not the bad guys.
Why did you cut the door?
Wait, no, it was already like that. Right.
It was already like that.
It was already like, yeah, that's right.
Oh my, look at this cast. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna mute the, I'm gonna mute my buddy Chris Hemsworth here now. And I'm gonna pause this because I want to come back. But before I do, let's talk about the cast. I'm hoping, yeah, sorry, I'm rearranging my windows here. We are live and unplanned. So let's talk about the cast. First of all, Chris Hemsworth. Now, this is not what I was expecting. I gotta say, I mean, I think the original Transformers, the movie, was incredibly impactful to me. Seemed like and really the whole movie was designed to sell toys, right? That was the purpose of Transformers, the movie, and yet had some really profound messaging. It was really impactful on a lot of kids, including me. And the voice of Optimus Prime, obviously in that movie, was Peter Cullen, who's been Optimus Prime forever and is just such an iconic voice actor. So the idea of replacing him, albeit to play a much younger Optimus Prime with Chris Hemsworth, I really didn't know what to expect from that. I think Chris Hemsworth's voice in this actually sounds surprisingly good. I was actually really pleasantly surprised. But I mean, let's talk about the cast. Obviously, Chris Hemsworth Brian Henry playing Megatron. You've got Scarlett Johansson playing Elita One. I thought she sounded fantastic in this trailer. You got Lawrence Fishburne as Alpha Trion, and I love the idea of the origin story, but let's come back to that. But I mean, Lawrence Fishburne, Morpheus himself. Then you've got John Hamm playing Sentinel Prime. You've got Keegan-Michael Key playing Bumblebee. I think the quality of the voice acting here is really good. One of my pet peeves with animated shows is where they take famous people, make them voice actors, and they don't think about the variety of voices that you need, like the diversity of voices that you need in a show to make it interesting. So you end up with kind of bland, like generic Californian accents across the board. I don't think we're going to have that here. I mean, like I say, Lawrence Fishburne, Brian Tyree Henry, you've got very, very iconic voices here that I think are just going to make this an interesting watch. And I really like the way they've paid homage to the original characters, but given them a spin. I think the two things I was not expecting here, one, I wasn't expecting there to be as much comedy, for it to feel as fun as it is. I don't know whether that means they're going to skew it towards younger viewers or they're just going to make it more family friendly. But I personally really, really liked the comedy in this. The other thing that I didn't realize is this feels very much like a superhero movie. Like, you have these characters who are in some kind of peril, you get to know them, and then they gain these superpowers and they have to find out how to use these powers for good. And I think that's going to be a really, really interesting angle that we haven't seen with Transformers necessarily before, is you're going to have the ability to see their backstories, see them gain the ability to transform, and then use those in some other way. So, I'm actually going to go back and just play a little bit of this so we can have this on in the background while I'm talking, but on mute, just to see if anything else jumps out here. But here we go. We're going to go back a little ways, and we're just going to hit play here. And eventually, when YouTube stops buffering, we might actually see some video. Here we go. Well, you know what? YouTube just does not want to be our friend, so we're gonna go back and just refresh that. It's interesting to me, the number of people who are really excited. Like, this stream had there were like 50, 60,000 people an hour before the trailer even released here. Here we go. So yeah, I'm just going to leave this playing while we're talking. The question I have for you in the chat is, who is your favorite Transformer? Do you have a favorite Transformer? And with your favorite Transformer, what generation of that, like what iteration or version of that Transformer was your favorite? And it's honestly, it's so hard. I think for me, I loved some of the more complex characters like Jetfire. I loved the idea of these characters who, were on one side and then switched to the other, and they have a bit more depth to them. I always had a soft spot for Bumblebee as well. I loved the fact that Bumblebee was an understated hero who I don't know, I didn't feel like he got the props that he deserved until way later. And love or hate the Michael Bay universe, I think they at least gave Bumblebee his moment to shine, which was well deserved. But yeah, the animation style here I think is really interesting as well. I was wondering if they were going to try to recreate the original, like the Transformers the movie animation style in the same way that they did with X-Men '97, like try to kind of almost make it the same look and feel and similar voice actors. Clearly they've gone with something much more modern, and I really dig this. It's got kind of a gritty look to it, but I don't know, it looks kind of realistic as well. I do really like that. Yeah, I really like the backstory of Optimus Prime and Megatron here as well. Like, how did they get to where they are? Why is Megatron so filled with hate? I love the idea of seeing, Bumblebee coming up with the name Bumblebee and where this came from as well. The story seems goofy. I agree with you. There's definitely more humor than I was thinking. And it definitely doesn't seem to have the kind of stakes that some of the live-action Transformers stuff does have. But I don't know, maybe they've tried to make this trailer a little more goofy and family friendly, and there might be a bit more depth to it when we see a little bit more. So I'm kind of reserving my opinions on that. But yeah, I do agree with you that the story definitely seems a little bit younger, very kid friendly, lots of humor, lots of goofiness in it as well. I was also wondering if we would see like foreshadowings of the Transformers the movie, like if we'd hear them say "Till all are one," or we'd see the Matrix or something like that. And I didn't see that level of continuity that I was hoping to see in this. I really like the scenery as well. Like I was expecting this all to be set on Cybertron, for it to be like just metal, like metal buildings, maybe even some like weird metal alien plants or something. But like here, you see them in what looks like a jungle. I mean, it looks very kind of Earth-like in some ways. Um, yeah, there's some really interesting choices made here. I for one, I love the original animated movie. I also, I can't say that I loved the Michael Bay movies in the same way. Like they were nowhere near the same level of quality, but equally, I enjoyed them. They were fun action movies. They added some interesting spins to characters that I liked. And I wonder if this is going to be more of the same. Like it'll be interesting seeing them inherit their ability to transform and mess around, trying to figure out how to do that. But what are we going to see more than that? Like, what are we going to see? Who's the antagonist? Are we really going to see them in true peril and having to fight for their lives? I guess that will be told. What I do like though is you don't necessarily see the entire storyline in this trailer. So yeah, I'm going to pause this here. But let me know who's your favorite Transformer. What do you think of the new trailer? That is all I've got for you though. So enjoy the rest of